The papyrus, putting on my table every month. I don't wanna be sad. Don't even try to hide it. No, I don't wanna lose it. And you say how it is, it's so inviting. The papyrus, we're all so alive. The papyrus.
Welcome to the Papyrus TV Africa. The headlines. Jigawa renovates 587 flood-ravaged schools, hires over 3,400 teachers in two-year education revamp. Quick response prevents fire disaster after petrol tanker mishap in Kano. PDP slams APC council chair over insulting palliative video in Jigawa. Kogi police paid 13.7 million naira compensation to families of fallen officers. Akpabio's media aide accuses TV host Rufai Oseni others of cyber defamation. CBN's dividend ban shakes banking sector as Nigerian exchange index drops. Abia launches lunch hour mentorship for civil servants. The news in detail. In a bold push to rejuvenate Jigawa's educational system, the administration of Governor Omar Namadi has renovated 587 public schools damaged by floodwaters and recruited 3,420 new teachers within 2 years, according to the Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Yusuf Chamo. Speaking in Duse during a press briefing to mark the governor's 2-year milestone in office, Professor Chamo described the large-scale school reconstruction as a cornerstone of the government's strategy to ensure safer, better equipped and more conducive learning environments in both urban and rural areas. The effort follows years of recurrent flooding that had left many schools in disrepair and unfit for use. The state's recruitment campaign head, Professor Chamo, said it included the engagement of 1,100 temporary J-Teach instructors, 72 degree holders, and an impressive 149 first-class graduates, all of whom have been offered permanent teaching appointments. A further 2,200 degree-holding teachers were transferred from the State Basic Education Board to the Ministry of Higher Education as part of a restructuring drive to improve the quality of instruction at post-basic institutions. To further improve educational outcomes, the state has conducted 15 rounds of intensive training for teachers, focusing on mathematics, English, and science, and providing administrative training for school heads to improve educational leadership and resource management. The Commissioner also highlighted the provision of modern teaching tools, including whiteboards and markers, and fencing of 120 schools to strengthen campus security. Chamo reaffirmed that Governor Namadi's administration views education as the foundation of sustainable development and human capital advancement, pledging continued investment in infrastructure, teacher welfare, and learning standards across Jigawa. And in another development, Kano State narrowly avoided a devastating fire outbreak after a fully loaded petrol tanker overturned near the NYSC Secretariat Junction at BUK Gwarzo Road. The swift response of emergency teams helped avert what could have been a major urban disaster. Governor Abe Kiabere Yusuf, in a statement by his spokesperson Sunusi Baturi Dawakin Tofa, commended the coordinated efforts of the Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC, Federal Fire Service, Nigerian Red Cross Society, and the Kano Road Traffic Agency Karota. According to eyewitnesses, the tanker lost control while turning into a filling station, tipping dangerously and causing mass panic as residents and commuters fled the scene fearing an explosion. Emergency personnel quickly cordoned off the area, neutralizing the threat and restored calm with no casualties or property damage recorded. While traffic was temporarily disrupted, order was swiftly reinstated. Governor Yusuf emphasized the importance of rigorous safety practices by tanker drivers and fuel station operators and warned that negligence during offloading or transportation of fuel could result in catastrophic consequences. He assured residents of Kano that his administration will continue to invest in disaster preparedness, interagency coordination, and public safety enforcement. The opposition party PDP calling it a mockery of people's dignity. The PDP State Publicity Secretary Umar Kyari issued a statement condemning the act as an evidence of the APC's insensitivity to the hardship endured by ordinary Nigerians. He described the distribution as political immaturity and symbolic of the ruling party's failure to offer real relief amid growing poverty. However, the council chairman's spokesperson, Aliyu Safianu, defended the initiative, insisting that the viral video was misleading and did not represent the full scope of the outreach. According to him, over 3,000 individuals, including widows, youths, religious leaders, and guardians of orphans, were reached during the event, with many receiving more substantial aid, such as 25 kg bags of rice, cartons of food, and cash gifts up to 20,000 naira. Safianu said the smaller packages were offered to uninvited community members who showed up at the venue and were accompanied out of goodwill to avoid turning anyone away empty-handed. He accused political opponents of exploiting the clip to stir resentment and misrepresent the chairman's intentions. Talking police matters, in a somber ceremony that underlined both the risks of policing and commitment to officer welfare, the Kogi State Commissioner of Police, CP Mila Dantawaye, on Monday presented 13.7 million naira in checks to the families of 7 police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty. The payout, part of the Group Life Assurance and IGP Family Welfare schemes under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, aims to provide relief and recognition to the dependents of fallen heroes of the Nigerian police force. According to the police command spokesperson SP William Aya, the initiative reflects the IGP's resolve to ensure that sacrifices made in service to the nation are not forgotten. CP Dantawaye in his remarks urged the beneficiaries to invest the funds wisely and assured them that the police will continue to stand by them. One recipient fearfully thanked the force for honoring her late husband's memory, describing the support as a vital caution for her family. The ceremony emphasized the institutional values of care, remembrance, and enduring loyalty within the police community. Kelly Okolubo, Special Advisor on Communications and Strategy to Senate President Godswill Akpabio, has petitioned the Inspector General of Police over what he described as a targeted cyber attack and coordinated defamation campaign orchestrated by Arise TV presenter Rufai Oseni and 2 other prominent online influencers. In a petition dated June 16, 2025, Okolubo alleged that his verified X account was hacked and used to post false statements, which is subsequently republished and amplified by Oseni, Tunde Ednot, and US-based Adiola Fayehun. He argued that the incident was a deliberate syndicate-driven attempt to reinforce unbounded accusations initially made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. The petition included supporting evidence such as Okolubo's international travel records, which he claims prove he was not in London at the time a supposed meeting was alleged to have taken place. He also requested that digital evidence be preserved for forensic analysis and that the suspects be prosecuted under the Cybercrimes Act of 2015. Okolubo linked the attacks to political tensions in the Senate, specifically fallout from the removal of Akpoti-Uduaghan as chair of the Committee on Local Content. He maintains that the smear campaign is a part of a larger political vendetta designed to damage his and Akpabio's reputations. The Nigerian financial market was rattled on Monday as the Central Bank of Nigeria's recent directive suspending dividend payments, bonuses, and offshore payments for banks under regulatory forbearance led to a 3.98% surge in the Nigerian Exchange Banking Index. The broader stock market also felt the tremor, with the all-share index declining by 0.15% and 108 billion naira wiped off market capitalization, which settled at 72.68 trillion naira. The CBN's June 13th circular aimed at boosting banks' capital reserves and provisioning strength restricts financial institutions from disbursing shareholder profits or launching foreign expansions while still benefiting from lenient loan classification terms, forbearance. Analysts say the move signals an end to the pandemic-era relief that allowed banks to manage their balance sheets amid mounting loan defaults. Stanbic IPTC analysts identified banks with heavy foreign currency loans and exposure to oil and power sectors such as FCMB, Fidelity Bank, and UBA as most vulnerable, although strong non-performing loan NPL coverage might caution the effect. Market experts, including David Adnori of Highcap Securities, acknowledged the shock but emphasized that improving loan performances and ongoing capital raises could eventually stabilize investor confidence. Some financial experts criticized the timing of the directive, particularly given banks' ongoing efforts to raise capital. However, the CBN maintains that the new rules will ultimately lead to a healthier, better capitalized banking system. As trading resumes, market watchers anticipate more volatility but believe long-term investors could find buying opportunities, particularly in stronger banks like GTCO and Zenith. And from Abia State, the Abia State government has introduced a Launch Our Mentorship Program, LMHP, aimed at boosting professionalism and competence in the civil service. Unveiling the initiative in Umuahia, Head of Service Benson Ojikere said the program will instill integrity, skills, and dedication among civil servants. He noted that seasoned officers will serve as mentors to guide junior colleagues, helping them carry out their duties with confidence and efficiency. Ojikere urged workers to embrace the initiative and maintain high standards of professionalism, stressing that the goal is to build a world-class, accountable civil service.